Hello, nightmares, and welcome back to another video. So, a couple things. I filmed this entire video last week. When I finally got around to editing it, half the video had absolutely no audio. So, I figured when I had the time to sit down and, film again, that I would just redo it and hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have to do it again. So, another thing, next week, it's my off week. I have 2 events coming up, but the following week, I'm going to preface with our video is going to be a tour of my DIY items in my wardrobe that I've made, vest, jackets, stuff like that. And if that's something you're interested in seeing, I'm excited to show you. Well, so I started out, I've got this deck out of the box at the moment because getting it out of the box was really noisy and not in a good way. This is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck from Matt Hughes. And fun story about this deck. So, I bought this deck, I think last year. My good friend Beck from the Serpent's Key, I got it from her shop, and her shop is located in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and that's where I lived for the last 3 years of my life. It was both a good place and a desolate and lonely place, and I liked it for both of those reasons. I don't know. So, when I got it from Beck, I actually wasn't planning on really buying anything that day. I just came in for conversation, to talk, as me and Beck often would talk about so many things. She's one of my most cherished friends, and she'll forever have a special place in my heart. And I'm really grateful that I got this deck, because it's the same one she uses for her readings in her shop. But I didn't know that until I brought it to her and I was like, I want to buy this. And she was like, hey, check this out. It's the same deck I use for my readings. And I was like, that's so cool. What? And I think it's really profound to have a connector like that. And that I know every time I use this deck, Beck and I share that connection. So this video is super special to me because of that. But also, Beck, if you're watching this, I miss you. But that's besides the point. So, the first time, I like to think of this deck as my trickster deck. Because every time I go to shuffle it, the cards slip out of my hands and half of them are on the floor, and I don't know why that is. But it feels like a big prank after a minute. So I'm going to carefully shuffle these. And I'm going to do it over my lap, so if any fall, you don't hear cards plummeting to the earth in 4K Ultra HD. So, we're gonna do a little 3-card reading. And of course, this comes with a little book that has a generalized meaning of what the cards mean. And well, I like that because I like to give my interpretation, but I also like to give the artist and author's interpretations as well, because they're important. The author wrote this book for a reason, and it should be shared. Oh, okay. That one. I've got one more card to choose. So I want to ask you all, how have you been? Has your week been good? Have you accomplished many things? Even if you've accomplished nothing, you're here and you're surviving and you're thriving. So that's something worth celebrating. When we think about productivity as a whole, so many people believe that their value, their worth, is equated to how productive they are. But let me tell you something. That's not the case. Your value comes from how well you take care of others and how well you take care of yourself. And sometimes the best thing we can do is sometimes just get out of bed and do the bare minimum. And it's okay. It is okay to do nothing. And it is okay to relax. There's no shame in it. So our first card, this is for your past situation. We've got the Empress. The Empress. And look how stunning that card is. And the art of this card. The gold is beyond beautiful to me. So, I'm gonna flip through this book real quick. That was loud. I'm so sorry. So, when I film, a little thing I do is something I don't do. I don't really edit my videos. I like to keep things as transparent and authentic as possible. I don't script my videos. I don't really edit my videos. When I say edit, the most I might do is if there's like a background sound that's really loud, I reduce the sound a bit. But other than that, I don't edit my videos. What you see is what I am. And I think that that is a rare thing in YouTube videos you don't see too much of anymore. People over-edit. Things feel like you're watching a TV production versus watching somebody sitting down and talking to you through a camera. In my opinion. It's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't know, a lot of work. And I'm not gifted with editing skills, really. So, this is what I am. For the Empress, we have it upright, so that's creation, abundance, luxury, nature, and pleasure. And the astrological correspondence of the Empress is with Venus. And the Empress is the manifestation of creation, the mother. She invites you to reconnect with the natural world and to nourish what we have created. So, in a past situation, this can mean a lot of things. To nurture, could be yourself, could be another. But in a past situation, you gave attention to yourself or to another where it was needed, or to a passion project, and that you put that energy where it needed to go, And in doing so, it is setting you up for fulfillment of your project, or feeling better about yourself, or the strengthening the bond with a lover or a friend. That's my interpretation. So the next thing we've got for our present situation is the 5 of Wands. And that is a stunning card. I love this art style so much because it's so surrealist, but also not, if that makes sense. It's like Ethereal, as the deck is titled. Real original, I know. I'm not the best at description sometimes. Well, that's new. I don't always hear cars go by here because it's a very small town. It's a very quiet town that I live in. Much different than Hanover. Hanover was traffic all the time, and loud trains and loud people. And now I'm in a situation where it's quiet all the time. And it's strange to become accustomed to a new normal. The last 3 years of my life, I lived in Hanover, and I had mixed feelings about it because, on one hand, there was this sense of newness that I liked, and then there was also loneliness for not knowing anybody but my spouse. And then there was friends that I made along the way, which made it more tolerable. But ultimately, in the end, Hanover never really felt like home. And I don't think I've ever found a place really that's ever really felt like home. I just go from place to place hoping to find that, I suppose. So the 5 of Wands. Let's flip to that real quick. The 5 of Wands. Conflict, disagreement, resistance, and competition. So, you're in a period where you are facing an internal conflict. It's you versus you. And I'm there too. Me versus me, you versus you. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. And it shows because we beat ourselves up so tremendously. We're critical of how we dress, what we eat, how we look, how much we work out. Going back to earlier, we value the wrong things sometimes. And it goes back to your sense of worth should not be dictated by how productive you are. And when it comes to you versus you, when you are in a period of you versus you, that is your eternal battle with fighting and resisting shadow work. And shadow work is important, and I think I'll be doing shadow work for the rest of my life. But it means you do have some reflecting to do. Why is it you versus you? Why are you being hard on yourself? And is it making anything better? If being hard on yourself ever worked, it would have worked by now. For your future, we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands. And I love the art on this one. It's so regal. So, this is 2 in the suit of wands that we have. And I used to get nervous when I'd see wands or staves or however they phrase it, because usually when you get that suit, it's not always what you want to hear. And I used to be one of those people where I'd get tarot readings and I'd hear something I didn't want to hear and I'd be like, whatever. But then I realized that maybe it's okay to acknowledge we don't know everything. And you go, of course, when you're younger and you're so sure of yourself, it's interesting when you realize that it's okay to be wrong and not know everything. I've had to be humbled by that multiple times in my life. I'll be sure of myself and I'll be like, oh, I'm finally doing what I need to do. I got it figured out. And then life comes along and says, really? Let me show you how much you don't know. Let me show you how wrong you are and how much there is to learn. Ooh. My God, if that isn't a train in the distance, I'm forever haunted by trains. Whatever. So, Page of Wands. Okay. Did they just forget to put the Page of Wands in this book? Because that's really interesting. Page, there it is. Enthusiasm, travel, creativity, and exploration. I like this card because it goes hand in hand with the Fool, which is my favorite card. That's why I have it. I hit my desk. I apologize. That's why I have it tattooed. But it goes hand in hand with the Fool because creativity, journey, travel, hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? You, and I'm putting the picture together here, are on a journey of self-knowledge, self-reflection, and you're on the journey to getting comfortable with yourself, to knowing you. And that's the hardest journey, but it is the most fulfilling journey. Maybe you've been in a period of stagnation. Maybe you've been in a period where heartbreak, loss, maybe you changed jobs, maybe you've moved houses, maybe you've started a new business adventure. Who knows? But you're on the right path and you're gonna do great things. And I think with just a little focus of your energy, that if you guide your energy correctly, you'll be able to go far with what you're doing. Just don't give up. So, it was a little rambly today, and I apologize. I've been in this struggle with focusing my energy and attention where it needs to go, and I feel like I'm being pulled 6 different ways, and none of them are the right way. I feel like I'm adrift, just kind of taking it day by day. But if I can look at you and tell you that it's okay to be that way, it's okay for me to exist that way as well, and know that it is only temporary, that it won't be like this forever. This ache in our heart and in our mind won't be like this forever. The loss we feel, the grief, even joy, all of these feelings are temporary. It's a cycle. And sometimes it takes true devastation for us to fully embrace when things are good. It takes also appreciating things while we have them, because you never know. But I'm really excited to be sharing more content with you guys. I know the last few months have been a little hiatus with all of the things in my world that have been truly tragic, but I feel that I am also on the brink of new creative adventures, and that this reading not only resonated for me, but I hope it resonated for you as well. And if it didn't, that's okay. Just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, your night, your week. I hope that you do something good for you and that you enjoy it and that it brings you happiness. And I hope that everything is what you want it to be. And of course, I love you all with all that I am. And I will see you all in the next one.